the Dead Men Walking. I'm your host, Greg Moore. We also have Jason Hamlin. How are you, Jason?
Welcome, everybody.
And we're live from Fight, Laugh, Feast again. Rapid City, South Dakota.
With our best friend,
our bestest friend,
that's so
Marcus
sweet.
Pittman. He's a repeat offender on the podcast.
Yep.
We talked to him about 6 months ago. We got to quit meeting like this.
Yeah,
at Fight, Laugh, Feast rallies.
We're going to have to get together more often.
That's right. We did meet at the Fight, Laugh, Feast rally.
Oh, that's hilarious. But, there's a lot going on. Marcus is going to talk a little bit about Loor. I'm not going to step on his toes. But lots been going on just in the 6 months that we talked and chatted a little bit. Tell us a little bit about Loor and what's going on. And
it's been fun to watch because I think when we were at the Fight, Laugh, Feast conference in Nashville, we just kind of started it. Like it was just at a point where it's like, okay, we're going to do. Actually, at the Fight, Laugh, Feast conference in Nashville, that we got our first verbal handshake commitment from our first investor.
Wow. Beautiful.
And so that got us, it was like, okay, we're moving to Moscow, Idaho now. So we packed up and we've been doing it full time since. We have a brand, we have a sort of a voice. We know what our market is and what we're doing now.
Yeah.
And then we hired a great chief technical officer and a COO named Nathaniel Talbott. We have our CEO, Maceo Jordan. And we got about 6 projects that are coming up that'll be on launch, and then, we're just
you're doing it.
It's what you don't want to rush it. Everybody's everybody's rushing the streaming service out. We're doing this too, and they dropped one movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And, with nudity. Yeah. So it's just like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So for everybody out there,
that's the Daily Wire streaming service.
Yeah, right.
One movie.
So for everybody out there listening,
which, by the way, we're probably only going to have one movie when we launch. Too.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just saying.
But you have 6
We're building
projects.
it up.
But no nudity.
You have more projects.
So let me just back up.
Right.
So it's totally fine.
So you guys are a lot like Pure Flix. You guys.
A lot. Yeah. A lot. We're gonna have one actor. To play the same role. Yeah, one actor will play the same role in every movie. It'll be great. The same writer for every movie.
Right.
Yeah,
This sounds a lot
same
cooler.
Actors.
But for everyone out there, this is a streaming TV, or is it just movies? Is this going?
It's movies, TVs.
Okay.
One of the doing is a documentary series called Dark Collar.
Okay.
And it's a reformed take of demon possession.
Wow.
So we like to say it's a reformed ghost hunting series.
Yeah.
He must be reformed.
Yes. So the guy who made it, well, not the guy who made it, but the guy the pastor who's part of the series, he's in this small coal mining town in West Virginia, abandoned coal mining town, and people are bored. They're doing drugs. There's not a lot of work to do or anything like that. It's a poor community.
Okay.
And the kids are going into the minefields and doing Ouija boards and just really getting into that dark sort of
how do you
stuff.
find people?
How you finding your content?
How do you find people?
Yeah, from West Virginia.
Well, actually, a friend of mine is actually the one that messaged me, and he said, "Hey, I'm gonna go to the city I heard about, and I was talking to the pastor, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna film this thing." And I thought it was gonna be like a documentary.
Yeah.
And then the more he was talking to me about it, he's like, "I think it's 6 to 8 episodes now because it's crazy."
Wow.
And so. Yeah, but I mean, you have this pastor, he's a reformed pastor or whatever, and he goes, "Yeah, they didn't teach me how to do exorcisms in seminary."
Yeah, right.
I don't know, I've had to do them, and I don't know, what, was I doing it right? I don't know,
so he didn't grow up charismatic.
Yeah, no, he's not charismatic at all, and, he's still not charismatic, but he's there are dark things. So it's just think I don't know if you guys saw, the best analogy I have for it is, I don't know if you saw, what's that there's a documentary on Netflix about this hotel where the lady's in the elevator and she's doing this thing.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. But yeah, it's like that. It's like a horror documentary series where it's what is going on here? Yeah. So really, really excited about that. Because we're trying to make content that that PureFlix would never put on.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like we want content that when
that's a good thing.
Like Christian films could be that.
Right.
You know, so
Right.
that's sort of
What's
like
your tagline? The T-shirt you're selling? What
Christian movies shouldn't suck.
Yeah.
yeah. So, you know, if people are like, you really shouldn't say it. We're like, everybody believes it though.
right.
Everyone else is saying
Nobody's come up to us and said that's not true.
Yeah.
The only people that have come up, they've said, well, we know it's not good.
Yeah.
But you probably shouldn't say that
You
because they're
shouldn't say,
trying
yeah.
the best they can.
Exactly.
Right.
It's like, well, if
They
it was,
have good hearts.
Well, you wouldn't eat food where people are trying the best they can.
I know, right?
You know, like you'd be like, yeah, I'm not going to eat it.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
imagine if Chick-fil-A was like Christian movies, and
Yeah.
you just go, well, you got to eat there because they're closed on Sundays, guys.
Yeah. Right. Wow.
So they're trying.
So where are you at right now? I mean, you guys are accepting and looking for content, investors. Like, are you? Because went to the website and you kind of have a list there of everything. You're like, hey, do you want to sign up and be ready to go and be a viewer? Are you someone who's a creator? Correct.
Yeah. So
hey, if you're looking at investing, you're doing it all right now because you're still in the.
So we're looking for streamers, creators, and investors.
Okay.
So those are the three main things right now.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in the platform and you want to get updates as to kind of what we're doing and how it's building and how things are coming along, you can sign up as a streamer. And then if you have skills, if you've made films, if you work in the industry, if you're in Hollywood and you're like, I think my days are numbered, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Sure.
You can sign up as a creator. We've actually spoken to like Emmy winners.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're like, we need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
They're
ready
like,
to get out.
They're like, what are you doing? It's not PureFlix?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't like PureFlix?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to go to PureFlix.
Right.
Like
Right.
they're not, like they're like, I might just
They
work
don't
for
like Christian Hallmark movies?
No,
Yeah,
they
right.
don't. Right. And so they're not going to go there. So it's like, well, where do we go? And then the other thing too, by the way, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but PureFlix was just bought by Sony.
Oh, jeez.
And Sony's the same company, that
Yeah.
makes like Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
With like
Right.
a tranny video games, right?
Right.
So it's like
Right.
it's like, well,
What's
so
that all
they're going to take the profits from the
Yeah.
Christian movies
Throw it into.
and they're going to throw it into these like gay films that make no money and nobody watches. And
Right.
that's-
Incredible.
Just
but they're
to
going to
promote an agenda, basically.
Yeah.
yeah. And so that's like really like that's not a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Like that's literally that's how they
No, that's filed with the
calculate-
SEC.
It's like, okay,
They
well,
own
here's
it.
a profitable industry.
Yeah.
And like, how do we cover our losses? Like, that's how every business does, right?
Sure,
so they're
sure.
Yeah.
they're gonna cover their losses with the profits from Christian films, and
Right.
and so, I mean, that's nuts.
Yeah.
No, it absolutely is.
And so Christian creators aren't gonna want to go there. So I think the fact that we're coming out and saying, yeah, you guys can actually do what you want. We're not too. We don't just no boobs.
Yeah. Right.
Just
Yeah.
like do what you want, no boobs, and
Right.
like just make good stuff. And
Right.
I think like creators don't get that, especially people that work for Disney.
Yeah.
they don't
Yeah.
make any decisions.
Yeah.
Directors of the films make decisions.
Yeah.
The studio heads come in and say, oh, you got to add a tranny in there, you got to add a gay person in there, because
Right.
Yeah.
whatever. But
Inclusion.
It's called
inclusion.
notes.
Yeah. Hey, well, funny story though. I was actually talking to, and you should probably get an interview with him, our founder, Jason Farley, who's a screenwriter.
Oh.
Okay.
And he was talking to a guy about the movie Brave. Did you see the movie Brave?
Yes.
It's just a great insight into how the Hollywood industry works, specifically Disney. So Brave, you have the whole movie where the mom's like, you have to do this, you have to do these three things. And then
Yeah.
at the end of the movie, she goes, no, I'm not going to do it. And then she becomes the hero.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, apparently the movie was written so she realized I need to listen to my parents. That's how the movie was written.
Yeah.
And Disney said, no, it has to be follow your heart. It can't be
Wow.
follow your parents. So they fired the director, the writer,
The writer.
the writer-director at that point, and then they brought in another writer-director to finish it off. So that's why you watch the movie, it's like, wait a minute, the mom is saying,
Yeah.
do these things, and she does those things, and she does really well, and then at the end, it's like all of us listen to it doesn't make sense, and it was terrible.
Wow.
But that's sort of like the stuff people have to deal with in Hollywood, and we're trying to tell creators, no, just make whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to give you input onto your movie. It's like,
Right.
but the market will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just let the market decide if it's a good movie or not. And and if you raise money for the movie and people like the movie, then it's great. If you don't, then you get better.
Yeah, I think I heard you say maybe it was last night, or maybe it was Friday. I don't even know what day it is.
what day it is.
When you're here at these conferences for 18 hours every day doing multiple interviews,
Yeah.
I don't even know what day it is anymore.
Yeah.
You kind of said we're the sandbox to allow people to create their art.
Yeah. I think that's sort of
half of it, right?
the key.
Yeah.
So it's like the internet is giving us technologies that decentralize industries, right? So like taxi cab drivers had a monopoly for years.
Sure.
And then Uber and Lyft came along and completely destroyed that industry. The same thing is true with credit card process. We were talking about this because we got the Square chip reader.
Yeah.
And we're like, man, you used to have to pay $500 for a POS system.
And then 4%.
And then crazy 4%. And then I can go to Walmart and grab a Square reader and set me up a way to take credit card payments in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible, man. So there's all these industries that come in and disrupt these industries. And so but Hollywood has Netflix disrupted the industry.
Sure.
But they became a part of it.
Yeah.
So it's like they're just a monolith studio now, just like everybody else. So we're actually trying to say, well, what happens if we are like the Uber and Lyft of the film industry?
Yeah.
Where we just make it so anybody can make movies and make a lot of money on movies.
Sure.
And
because there's a market for it.
Yeah, and not have these sort of executives making decisions for the people.
Right. So would you guys ever release something at like an AMC or a movie theater?
There's discussions about that. Like I think the theaters are still great.
Yeah.
But
you like the stock, I'm sure.
Pump the stock.
Yeah.
Pump the stock
to the moon.
We're about to have a short squeeze.
I'll always pump the stock of the. That's for sure. But I think
GME.
I think we're going to see a lot more smaller community-driven movie theater experiences, which will be good.
And are you guys going to have a range of content too, to where maybe you have something that's feature film length and produce that way?
Yeah, so we
have something a little more indie.
Yeah, we actually
underground.
Yeah,
kind of like that too.
We have a feature-length film that we're going to get. We're going to have a documentary series. We're going to have an adult animated cartoon. We're going to have some kids cartoons, and then a bunch of other things in the cartoon sections. Animation's really good.
I'm feeling an animated cartoon for two podcast guys.
We're actually doing one with Laura Clausen. Are you guys familiar with Laura Clausen?
No.
So she runs a anti-abortion ministry in Canada called Choice for Two.
Okay.
And she released this animated cartoon that she worked on with some ex-Disney animators about child sacrifice, and it was really dark, but it looked like Cruella de Vil, right? Like it was just like, oh wow, that's a real Disney villain.
Yeah.
But it was maybe 5 minutes long, I think, and it was about the history of people sacrificing their children. It was really good. It got tons of views. So she's actually going to do a project with us too, but it'll be 6 short short animated cartoons on abortion. So
I like
you
it.
talk about really dark cartoons, not for children.
Yeah.
So that's going to be one of our projects, and she's already making podcast rounds talking about. Excited about that. So
awesome, man. So if anyone's interested in either being a streamer, a creator, or an investor, where do they go?
Go to loor.tv, and then you can sign up. You can sign up there. So.
And we saw you down there both days already, man. You're hustling, you're talking, you're doing your thing. Yeah. But have you got to sit in on any of the sessions? And if you did, what was your favorite part? What was your takeaway?
I'm trying to hustle the T-shirts.
Yeah.
And I don't want somebody to come and want a T-shirt when we're not there. Right. But I am going to go to the Joe Booth session. I'm waiting for that one.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
That's going to happen. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool, Marcus. Thanks so much for coming on. Jay, did you have anything for him before we jump out of here?
Yeah, love it.
All right, guys.
Looking forward to Loor.
Absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks for listening, and always, God bless. You ready?
Yeah.
Check 1, 2. Wait, hold on.
Who are these people? What are we going to talk to them about?
I thought you knew.
So we're the go-go dancers for this evening's show.
Nice.
And we're talking about a Christian view of go-go dancing.
Oh, boy.
Beautiful men.
what it is about the high boots.
Are we ready?
Yeah, yeah.
Good Lord.
Between two ferns.
Yes,
That's true.
we are, and I am shaped like Zach Galifianakis.
Yes.
And I have been mistaken for him before.
Nice.
You're not nearly pear-shaped.
All right, I'm
enough.
hungry. Let's go. Ready?
Speaking of pears.
Oh,
All right, here we
let's
go.
go.
Hey guys, what's up?
Howdy.
Welcome back to another episode of Dead Men Walking. Walk through our picture, will you? We
Speaking
gotta keep
of-
it going. He
walk
walked
through.
through the frame last. Oh, chocolate nuts, baby!
Wait,
Chocolate nuts.
hey.
Yeah, you're gonna be dead.
Come on, man.
Go ahead, it's all yours. It's all yours. Another
Run,
episode of
run.
Dead Men Walking. We are live from Fight, Laugh, Feast again. Oh, Rapid City, South Dakota. What's going on, Jason?
Not much, man. We are having a blast out here in South Dakota. Didn't know it could be so much fun.
Yeah, we're on day 3 already.
Yes, we
and
are.
We're just finishing up.
Resurrection Day, baby.
Resurrection. Who's that voice? Who is that we just heard there in the microphone? Introduce yourselves.
I am Jason Farley. I work for Loor TV. I am the creative one.
Nice.
Is that the
Yeah.
job?
You write
isn't
stories.
down here.
Yeah, I write story. I'm a screenwriter, a
I think they just call
comedy
it
writer.
creative. You know what I'm saying? Like you're heralding
Well,
yourself.
like-
I'm the creative
Yeah,
one.
I mean, compared to Nathaniel, yes.
Yes.
Daniel, what do you do, sir? You're not creative. We've got that much.
First of all, I have to say, I think it's illegal to have two Jasons on the same show.
It is.
So,
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So,
J squared.
so I will be officially going by the handsome one. from
Okay.
now on.
Okay.
Creative
That
one.
works.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
here we
yeah,
go.
yeah.
We got all
Funny
kinds of
guy.
cameos.
Yes.
My name's Nathaniel Talbott, and I'm the COO and CTO at Loor. So
Yes.
Jason and I are working on turning filmmaking upside down.
Yes.
Yes, and they do it with passion and
Apparently.
and guns. What?
Loor. Cancel Hollywood.
Cancel Hollywood.
Love it.
Loor. Oh, you can take
Go
the
ahead.
next
You
one.
do
Christian movies shouldn't suck.
I
Yeah.
love it. That's
Or
so awesome.
Loor. Love God and make what you want.
Amen.
Nice. So, give us a little background. I know we have the handsome one and the creative one. So you're creative. And what was your background?
No, I'm the skinny one. You got my name wrong.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
skinny
So-
is it in your mind? And it's
Yeah,
a sense
yeah.
of being.
Right, exactly.
'Cause you were a screenwriter, author, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Give us a little
So
background on
I pastored for about a decade or so, and
That's right.
and became a writer and a teacher, a published poet, wrote a novel, children's book, and then landed in screenwriting a few years ago. And I've been working in screenwriting, mostly writing comedy, and then connected with the folks at Loor and jumped on as running the artists. Artist
Sure.
communication, running the
Okay.
the A&R.
Did you get some of your funniness from your cousin Chris?
Well, we
come
shared a
on.
van down by the river for a while.
Not a funny joke.
Wasn't wait his or mine?
No, of course.
Me.
No, but we're both
Yes,
Jason.
we have.
Say bad jokes all day long. I don't care. I don't care.
You're no longer Jason. You're
Yeah.
now the creative one.
No,
You're the
right,
handsome
right,
one.
right. Yeah. So the skinny one's joke was funny.
We could just say
I'm not
Jason
very
made a
I'm not very skinny, guys. I don't know if you've seen me or not.
Oh man.
And then Nathaniel's background, because it's actually impressive. Do you want his?
Yes.
He worked at
Thank you for,
SpaceX and
thank you for
NASA.
actually hosting the
Yeah,
show. I
you're welcome.
appreciate it.
You're welcome.
In 3, 2, 1.
We're live.
You're like,
He's like, Mr.
Jason's
Host,
like,
is that what
I
you want to
don't-
do? Ask a question next?
Jason's like, I don't matter at all. Go over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my background is I love writing software and I love building companies. And I put those two things together, created a startup called Spreedly that still does payment processing. Exited that from that a few years ago, and got a call from Maceo, the CEO of Loor, and he was like, "Somebody recommended you. We should." And I came on as the CTO and COO at Loor. So I'm wearing two hats right now to hand one of them off. But
Three hats if you count that you're my spirit animal. So
Far out, bro. You bunch of hippies. Who do we having on this show?
Yeah, right.
A bunch of hippies.
We started out at such a high point.
That's Loor's other tagline.
With
A bunch
Doug
of hippies.
and Toby started at such a high point. Look where we've landed.
I just want to know. I feel like Jason found some beer somewhere and he didn't tell me
You
about
didn't
it.
tell anyone. Where'd you get it?
Exactly.
I found a microphone.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's
Even
much
better.
more much more effective than beer.
Definitely.
Working on right now? I mean, you got some stuff in the works, or I mean, anything you can talk about?
Yeah, well, I mean, what we're working on is getting a distribution and funding platform completed and up and running.
So all the things. We're working on all the things.
Working on all the
So-
things.
So technically, we're a tech company, and technically, we are actually a tech company. So, not just technically, we're a tech company. So we're working on building the technology that is necessary to be able to free artists from the Hollywood mafia, so that Christians can get the shackles off and find the freedom to make their dream projects and not be shackled by Hollywood or shackled by the church ladies that have their way of
Right.
getting in and their way to the top.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Marcus
because-
described it as pure flicks. Is that a... No? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the sound it makes when you're lying?
No, man, it sounded like you guys had a lot of...
joke, Jason. It's so awesome.
You guys had a lot of really cool projects coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, he talked about 6 different ones. Which ones of those, are you guys involved in all those right now as well? Or are those like being worked on outside of Loor and then they're bringing them into you? Like how's that working?
Some of both. So
Okay.
what we're trying to do is Loor is like hard mode entrepreneurship because it's a multi-party it's a 3-party marketplace.
Okay.
So when you're doing a sort of a 2-party transaction, it's really easy. You make a good product, you go out and you find to buy it, you sell it to them, they give you money, you're done.
Yeah.
Loor, what we're trying to build is a 3-party marketplace. The consumer, so the streamer, the subscriber, the person that wants to fund things. We have Loor, we're the platform, we're going to facilitate the whole thing, but then you have the creatives. And so you've got 3, you're trying to herd 3 cats, not just 2. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to seed out the content so that we've got good launch content, because at the end of the day, the people who are going to be paying us money are not the ones who are going to be creating the content that we're going to be selling. So we've got to juice, we're basically trying to prime the pump. And so we're funding, we've optioned some stuff, we're funding, Jason's writing some stuff to make sure that we have really compelling set of launch content.
Yeah.
But more and more stuff is popping up all the time too. So even some things that we were looking at as potential for launch back when we first started around November. Now we're like, okay, that doesn't make the launch cut anymore, because better and better stuff is coming to us. The more, and that's something you learn when you're building a company, is the more you work on it, the more you're consistent at it, the more opportunities pop up.
Right.
And it always helps when you're building something for God too. Like,
Yeah.
he gets involved.
Seriously. Yeah.
Yeah, he makes the connections that you couldn't imagine ever making on your behalf.
So what was your guys' favorite part of Fight Laugh Feast? Who'd you like the best?
This interview, I think, is absolutely the
and beyond.
Yeah. So
You are such a suck up. I love it.
Watching
You're becoming
Jason
my
suck
favorite.
up is now officially my favorite part of the.
Of the whole night.
If we can we make a little bit of a contribution to Loor? Could we have our own little spot on it? Have a cartoon?
hey,
like short.
I'd love to hear your pitch.
Oh,
that's what I do.
he went right
Here
back
we
into
go.
professional mode. Did you see that? He
So
said, "This is my
here's the
favorite
pitch."
part." I'm gonna need to see the pitch. We'll set up. My people call your people.
Yeah.
There's 2 guys.
Let me-
2 guys. They're traveling across the country because they have this lost briefcase, and they get to Colorado. No, I'm joking.
They have to bring it across the country.
They're trying to find this girl in Aspen.
What you just said.
Oh, sorry.
That sounds dumb.
Yeah.
And dumber.
Oh man.
Great.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Well.
I think that what I have enjoyed the most is the fellowship. At a place like this, you meet people from all over the country, and just the way that the work of the Spirit in your own life immediately connects you with people whose lives are being worked in by the Spirit as well, I think is such a taste of the resurrection to come, that every time I get in a situation like this, I think, man, it's so good to just meet people that are my brothers and sisters that I didn't know I had, and you get to meet the crazy uncles that you didn't know you had to, and I love that too, because I'm making notes.
Absolutely.
Making notes for the
I was
sitcom.
like, you have you're getting characters.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So many characters.
Right. I was like, man, I got 3 new ones just today at the table.
There you go.
That's so great.
So I think my favorite part is I was homeschooled all the way through, and we were involved in a Christian homeschooling organization. They had big conferences every year, and smaller ones too. And I grew up 15 years going to conferences. Now, there were some weird things about that organization.
Well, it was David Koresh, wasn't it? You got out just in time.
But I still, those were formative for me. I met a lot of people there. I had a lot of opportunities come out of that. I learned a lot of doctrine. And now I have a place that I'm bringing my 8 kids, all of them baptized. And
There we go.
and I'm bringing my kids out, and they're getting 10 times better than I was.
Wow, that's so
awesome.
good.
I mean,
raising up the next generation.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, they're
important.
getting exposed to way better things, and I'm able to support that. And it, when you're trying to raise Christian children, I mean, we have our church, which is amazing, but the more other Christians you can give them to model on and to see, they're weird too, and it's okay to be odd, like Jason. And
Look at my laptop there. What does it say there?
Yep.
Dead Men Walking.
No.
What a great podcast. Subscribe at
Homeschool
iTunes.
weird, baby.
Keep homeschool weird.
I was homeschooled as well.
Sorry, I
Let's
was
keep it
reading the
weird.
wrong
Greg
sticker.
was one of those weirdos too. No, John.
Yep. So I just love getting
You
somewhere.
are one pathetic loser.
Sorry,
Oh, that's where we're going. Huh? That's where we're going.
Okay.
That's how it's going to go.
I can say it because I was homeschooled too.
Yeah.
Let's keep it weird, baby.
Right. That's
We
right.
turned out just fine.
Yeah.
We did.
Usually homeschool kids are the geniuses. I don't know. Well,
Okay. Here's some inside
I was
baseball.
trying to say nice stuff, guys.
Inside baseball.
Yeah, sure.
So
Okay.
And
Russia, yeah.
Moscow has they're really big on their classical education and their classical school. Well, I mean, especially at the college level, university level, the NSA graduates, most of them graduate and they go to work for one particular company. You know what that company is?
What is it?
Homeschooled.
MC.
Oh, wait. This
Emory-
story would have been
Emory
better.
University?
Huh?
That story
In
would have been
Atlanta?
better if you would have known what it was called.
I can't remember what it's called.
It's because you were
It's an
homeschooled, so you didn't
acronym.
learn
Oh, it's an
classical
acronym. I can't
memory
use homeschool.
techniques.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So what is it, Jason?
MZ.
MZ.
Oh,
so,
okay.
so MZ is there, and it's run by a homeschooler who I believe didn't even go to college.
Once homeschooled,
Okay.
always
Yeah.
homeschooled.
So
That's
I'm always ready to
That's-
represent for
That's
homeschooling.
wild. Oh yeah, heck yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Definitely.
awesome. Thanks, boss.
Look at 87% of homeschoolers outperform public charter and private school.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll
I got
just
ripped
throw
off.
that stat out there for you.
Which is why I've decided to not homeschool my children, because I want them to have to work for things.
Yeah,
Oh.
right. Don't want to
You're
do easy.
starting at a deficit, children.
Yeah.
Welcome to reality.
No more soup for you.
I feel a homeschool show coming on.
Yeah,
from Loor.
right.
I mean, get on
I
that.
mean-
Start writing that, Jason.
Yeah, actually, I've got a really good idea. I came up with it on the plane here about some bank robbers that get trapped in a cabin in the woods by an avalanche with a family of 9 homeschooled children.
Nice.
Wait, there's no 9 homeschool children?
Yeah, the parents died in the avalanche, which is what makes it a comedy.
Oh my gosh. That's horrible.
So you pitched it low and outside. I couldn't swing.
yeah,
could not swing.
That's true. That's ultimately my fault. You're right.
So yeah, this
So-
is why I need a team. They reel me back in to keep me
Right.
from crossing the line.
I don't know
This
if-
isn't live,
I-
right?
Yeah. I was gonna say that goes into Quentin Tarantino, right? Like that's like a
Yeah, jeez.
the what is it? The Magnificent Seven? What's
Yeah.
the one where they're all
Right.
trapped
I
in
don't
the
know.
cabin?
The Hateful Eight? The Hateful Eight?
Hateful Eight. Yeah.
I don't
that's
know. Were
the
you
one.
homeschooled?
Yeah. No, I didn't homeschool.
Yeah,
That's
that's-
why I'm not very smart. Yeah. I was ripped
I didn't
off.
homeschool, which is why I have no morals.
Yeah, right.
I'm not
exactly.
sure if this podcast right now is going to help Loor or hurt them.
I thought you were going to say going to hell for a second.
Oh boy. So
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we've got all
So
types.
anyway-
Yeah,
we've
we
got
do.
all types
Yeah, we
working
do.
on Loor. we
we
really
do.
got all types.
clearly.
But all glory to God. All
Amen.
glory
Absolutely.
to
Here.
God.
We at least have to end on that.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So, guys, why don't you throw out where people can find Loor and if they're interested in either investing or creating content or subscribing.
Yeah, go for it.
Loor.tv.
Yep.
You go to Loor.tv. There's an invest button. There's a stream button, and there's a create button. It's pretty complicated, but we find most people can figure it out. So
Even the non-homeschool.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen how condescending that homeschooler was. You hear that?
Yeah, I
For
know.
you public school people, if you can figure out
Hey,
three
I didn't bring in
buttons.
public school ed. He did.
Okay, I did it. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up here. We appreciate you guys coming on.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
really
we do love
appreciate
you
it.
guys. We need to stay in contact, and we'll make sure we link up everything when this goes out to the listeners. Guys, thanks for listening, and as always, God bless.
Amen.
Amen.
Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Dead Men Walking Podcast for full video podcast episodes and clips, or email us at deadmenwalkingpodcast@gmail.com.
None you